Hi everyone, I'm Michael.
And I'm Patrick, and you're watching another episode of Star Wars News and Views. Today we have a bunch of updates on the filming of Episode 8. First of all, Daisy Ridley had an interview recently with MTV where she talked about working with Mark Hamill, and she said, she really liked, working with him and everything, and it's been really fun to do rehearsals with him, which, really gives us a lot of information that she's going to be...
Rehearsals means that there's, full-on scenes, which shouldn't be that surprising. I mean, we kind of were sort of expecting that, but, for instance, in The Force Awakens, they don't need to rehearse. She just comes up to him, and he looks at her, and then cut the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Right? So, we kind of figured that she would be training with him, but now we know that the scenes have such substance to them that they require rehearsals to really
back and forth.
So there's a lot of dialogue exchanges. Maybe there might even be physical action. Maybe he's physically training her, sort of the way Yoda was.
Yeah, because rehearsal could also mean even blocking scenes and stuff, right? And I guess one thing that's really cool about that is that this is kind of really reinforcing that Episode 8 is going to pick up right where Episode 7 leaves off, right? And this will be the first time it happens in a Star Wars movie. We get to see, initially right afterwards, here we go. Yeah. You're going to be training.
I mean, Return of the Jedi kind of came close, but you get the impression that it's been a year or 9 months or something since. Yeah. Whereas this is going to be I guess it's going to be, because this is what one of the interviewers, I think it was MTV, that was interviewing her, and she was saying, this is the first time a Star Wars movie has picked up right where the last one ended. So it's been only a couple months, right? It's been 3 or 4 months, I guess.
Maybe even that, right? So on top of that, some other information that we have is that they've kind of stopped filming at Skellig Michael already, and they've moved
which was giving them problems because of the location, just geographically. There's a lot of wildlife there, especially birds. We did a video about this.
They gotta bring it all the way up to an island all the time while they're...
and you have to imagine, you can't have a dialogue scene there. It's convenient that the one scene they did film there had no dialogue. Because imagine the sound of the crashing waves from the ocean and the wind and the birds. You couldn't record a scene there. Exactly.
So they moved it to a place called County Kerry, which is also in Ireland, and it's going to be near a coast, but obviously it's not an island. It's going to be near the what was it?
The Dingle Peninsula?
Yeah, the Dingle Peninsula.
Which is the best name in the world. Okay, first of all, it's a peninsula, and they had to call it the Dingle Peninsula.
It already kind of, usually they look a lot like
a genitalia? Yeah, so they're at the Dingle Peninsula with Mark Hamill and Daisy Ridley.
And they've been building sort of building flattening areas and building areas for them to put a lot of set and a lot of basic instruments and stuff like that to record with. So it seems like they're going to be setting up there for a little bit of a long haul. And on top of that, we've seen sort of kind of what they've ordered to have done.
Film permits have leaked out from, I guess they have to apply to the Irish government to, this is what we're doing and this is how it's going to go. And so one of the scenes is a walk and talk type of thing between two characters, which makes sense if it's just Luke Skywalker instructing her. Yeah. And what was the other ones?
There's going to be one of a village, which we don't know if it's inhabited or not, but it could be that sort of village that we saw of the old Jedi Temple, which is kind of what we expect it to be.
Well, when Daisy Ridley first goes to find Luke Skywalker, she stumbles through this. Well, she doesn't stumble, but she comes across this area where you see old huts and sort of chambers and stuff like that. It's actually in real life. That's it's an old monk's village. That because Skellig Michael, we're mispronouncing that. It's actually Shalig Mihail or something. I don't know. It's was it Gaelic? No, Gaelic is Scottish, right?
I think so.
Whatever it is. Yeah. Anyway, we're pronouncing it like a bunch of English idiots. But anyway, that in real life that was an old monk's village. And you do see her pass through that. Yeah. So when it says there's a scene in a village, maybe that's what that is.
That's kind of what I'm expecting right now.
Yeah. Because he said he was trying to find the first Jedi temple, so maybe that's the Jedi temple.
Yeah. Other thing too is that Daisy Ridley has also confirmed that she's not going to be in Croatia filming at that sort of that set that we've seen with these doors and everything. And
there was a rumor that her and Mark Hamill were supposed to be there, but she came out and she said no, I'm not in Croatia.
Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, I guess that we haven't heard of anything else yet about what Mark Hamill is doing other than filming here. So we don't really know if he's going to travel with her or if she leaves and he's going to stay there.
Well, they did go back to what we're calling Skellig Michael. I mean, that's how it's spelled, so that's what we're calling it.
Yeah.
But they did go back there with Rian Johnson for pickup shots before The Force Awakens came out.
Yeah.
And so, like, Skellig Michael is really good for those wide beauty shots.
Yeah.
But like I was saying, like, you can't really do scenes there, both because it's impractical from a production standpoint and also, like, from an audio-visual standpoint. Like, to do a whole scene there, it wouldn't work technically.
Yeah.
It's good for, like, a couple of helicopter shots and, like, this type of stuff they did on The Force Awakens. So they did go back there. They got a few pickups because now they knew what the script was and they knew what shots they needed. And now the way it looks like is they're recreating that in a different location that may be easier to film at, and they may even be studio work, like if they're inside one of the buildings or something like that and having a dialogue scene or something.
Yeah.
They can do that in the studio.
Yeah. So I guess that's it for this story. It's quite a few updates, I think, for episode 8, and it's good to see it kind of getting underway. It seems like the filming is sort of the beginning of the movie at the moment. Shots everywhere else. We'll kind of see how it plays out a bit more in the future. Leave us your feedback, what you think they might be filming, and if you have any sort of idea of what what's going to happen between these two characters coming up in the next movie.
This is just what we're interpreting it.
Yeah.
But if you guys have other thoughts, be free to leave them, and we'll read them.
Yep.
So thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you next episode.